For the first 3 months in 2026, I stopped spending money. So, hi lovely people, welcome to the channel. It's such a privilege to have you here. I'm excited about today's video, and that's because for the next 3 months, for the first quarter of this year, I am going into a no buy challenge. No random shopping, no impulse buying, no just this once purchase. What I learned in these first 3 months completely changed how I view my money, because this wasn't just about savings. It exposed habits, decisions, and patterns that I did not even know were costing me. Living in Canada is not cheap, and it is very easy to get into the circle of earning, spending, and repeat without ever stepping back. Instead of doing another budget, I decided to challenge myself. I went into a full no-buy quarter from January until March. Nothing extreme, just being intentional. Now, let me be clear, I did not stop all spendings. I still paid for rent, groceries, and of course, essentials. But I completely cut out shopping for clothes, unnecessary takeout, impulse purchases, and anything that was unplanned and totally unnecessary. Most of my wants were completely starved in these first 3 months. And that is where things got interesting. I'm going to be looking at my laptop because I actually wrote them out. First month was a reality check for me. It was just because I was used to buying them. Honestly, this was the most uncomfortable month for me. And that's because old habits and the impulse buyings and all that sufficed, and they were like, girl, I thought we had this agreement. What are you doing? This is not because these things I needed to buy them. The small things, the convenience spending, the impulse purchases, the scrolling through Shein, Temu, Amazon, and you're like, you know what? I can get these. And also the what I tell myself, just these ones purchases. They actually started haunting me. They're like, I thought we were friends. I thought we had an agreement. I thought we knew ourselves. I was like, you know what? I signed a contract with this no buy challenge. Unfortunately, you're going to be starving. That was when I realized quite quickly that I wasn't spending because I needed to. I was spending because I wasn't intentional about my wants and my needs. That was where the first lesson came to me, that my spending wasn't really out of need, out of necessity, but really out of my habits. I also realized that a lot of my spending was automatic, out of stress, out of boredom, out of I have the money, why not spend? They were not really about necessity. And once I saw that, I started questioning every purchase I made. But month 2, the month of February, that was when everything changed. By the second month, I started adjusting to my new reality. I became more intentional with shopping for groceries, planning my meals, using what I already have in my kitchen at home, and something surprising actually happened. I didn't feel restricted. I felt more in control. That was where I learned my second lesson, that I already have what I need. And that's to you too. You already have more than you think. Things I wasn't even using, my cabinets suddenly felt rich. Food I could stretch, clothes I didn't need to replace, and different ways of styling the same clothes without feeling bored. That was when I realized we actually don't always need more. We just think we do. In the month of March, I gained clarity. The breakup is now official, it is now real, because the new system I've created and the habit finally felt right. I was no longer tempted the same way of impulse purchases and going through the Shein and Temu and all these overspending. That was when I realized this no buy quarter from January to March challenge I went on wasn't really about restrictions, wasn't really about extreme lifestyle. It was more about awareness to the habits, my lifestyle, and decisions I've been making when it comes to my finances. And that is where my fourth lesson comes in, that awareness is everything. Once you become aware of your habits, you start really making decisions that's not forced, not stressful, just intentional. And that is where my seventh lesson comes in, that savings become even easier for you. I had even extra 200 that I redirected to my investment account just because of really tracking and saying, you see, this first 3 months, I'm not buying things emotionally. That being said, I'm not going to be doing this no buy challenge forever, but this one time I did has actually completely reset everything. It gave me a new perspective, a new tool, and most importantly, a new sense of control. The no buy quarter experience taught me that building wealth is really not about how much you make, but how much you're able to keep and how much that money you've kept can be used to your advantage. It's about being aware of your habits, if they are your allies or your foes. That's because these small repeated decisions, they shape your entire financial life. If you're living in Canada or you're planning to move to Canada, I make these videos about personal finance, sharing my journey and helping you really navigate life in a good way. These real life experiences will shape your life for the better, help you to see my wins, see my mistakes, and try to incorporate or really avoid them in your life. And that is why I've created a playlist called Living in Canada series. I highly recommend that you binge watch those videos. I'm pretty sure you'll find them valuable. If you want to build better money habits in a way that actually works long term for you, I have created a resource or a guide to help you. Everything you need is found in the description, from the bank I use, the checking accounts, and all the things that I've been doing to set myself up and my family for financial success and building wealth. Now it is your turn. Let's have this conversation, the dialogue going on in the comment section. Do you think you could do a no buy month or a no buy quarter? And what would be the hardest thing for you to give up? Sometimes the fastest way to fix your finances is actually to stop spending.